Hello, beautiful people. My name's Nick Bradley. I'm here with Rain Room Productions, and we're going to try and help you answer the question today: should you go to school for music production and audio engineering? Whether or not you decide to actually go to school will totally be up to you, but I just wanted to share my experience and the things that I've learned along the way and hopefully help you to make that decision. The reason I'm here to talk about this today is because I just completed a 9-month diploma program with SAE Institute in North Vancouver. So let's get into the video. I've been playing guitar and singing since I was about 15, and I have a pretty good foundation for music theory background as well. I just think it's worth mentioning this background with music. It gave me a bit of an advantage going into school because there's some people that had never even made music before. It's really helpful to have some background before you head into a program like this. Which leads me to my next point. Have you ever opened up a DAW before? A digital audio workstation? I would say if you have little to no experience producing music or making music, I would highly recommend that you pick up any DAW and just start practicing before going into a program like this. I would highly suggest picking up Ableton, Logic, or Cubase, anything to get started, even if you can just get GarageBand going, just something to give you an idea of what it's going to be like. Spending at least 3 to 4 months learning a DAW before going into school can really help speed up the learning process. I'll do a video in the future comparing different DAWs, but the school that I went to, SAE Institute, they taught Pro Tools and Ableton because those are two of the big players. I would say Ableton is more of like a creative, and Pro Tools is the industry standard for working in a music studio. I know you can try both Ableton and Logic for 3 months for free. Well, one of the reasons why this is important to do before going into school is you're going to get a lot of different terms thrown at you, like compression, EQ, filters, delay, reverb. Just getting a basic understanding of what these tools do and how they work will help give you a little bit of a head start going into school. Another big reason why I would suggest that you try producing before going into school is just because it'll tell you if this is something that you really want to do. You'll quickly figure out if this is something you want to do long-term or just as a hobby. Is this something you want long-term? I think it's safe to assume that if you're still watching this video, you're probably thinking seriously about making music into a career. Not to discourage anyone from this at all, but it is really not an easy thing to do to make money in the music industry. I'm close to 2 years into this journey, and I have probably made maybe around a couple $1,000s working for a publishing company based in Vancouver. It's gonna take time, effort, and a lot of failure unless you're blessed with financial resources and natural talent. You'll probably need a part-time job while you build up your skill and a reputation for yourself. I personally quit my full-time job working at TELUS as a cable installer so that I could work part-time as a server and spend the rest of my free time working on music. Whether you want to be an artist, a producer, ghost producer, make music for sync licensing, work in a studio, whatever it ends up being, you're gonna need to have an entrepreneurial mindset in order to be successful in this industry, unless you decide to work for film and TV doing post audio. All this to say that if you don't absolutely love what you're doing, you probably won't be willing to make the sacrifices required to be successful. For me, success is just being able to pay rent and save enough money so I'll be able to retire and I don't have to work one day. But I'll still, even into my retirement, I'll always be making music. So I know that this is what I want to do long term. The next point I wanted to cover is the biggest positive that I took away from school. For me, the most important thing that I took away from school is that they answered the questions that I didn't even know to ask. There's things that I had no idea even existed, and there was answers to questions that I'd be making up words to try to describe the sound or technique that I was trying to accomplish. So for me, this was the biggest benefit gained by going to school. It gave me all the tools that I needed to ask the right questions. These are questions that if I hadn't gone to school, it could have taken years to discover. So is it worth the investment? That's the big question. I would say yes, only if you can afford it or if you really don't mind taking on student loans. School for me costs over $15,000 for a 9-month diploma program. You get a pair of kind of okay headphones to start out. You get a 1-year subscription to Pro Tools and Ableton, and a student email that you can use for discounts for a lot of plugins and some other places. Music production is such a vast topic, and school kind of lays out all the different options for you. You learn things all the way from basic music theory to sound design, post audio. Each topic is never ending. So school for me just really scratched the surface. It really does speed up the learning process, gives you a bit of a head start, and everything's structured in a way that's beneficial to your learning. But there are a lot of other options. There's YouTube, online courses, books, blogs. Some of my favorite YouTubers are Mr. Bill, In the Mix, AU5, and Andrew Huang, as well as a smaller channel that I like called Bunting, and he does a lot of down-tempo bass music, which I really love. I'll link to all of these YouTube channels in the description below. So is it worth the investment? Yes, I have no regrets. As long as you can afford it, I'd say go for it. It does give you a really good head start. So on to the last question, and the title of the video. Should you go to school? Obviously the choice is yours to make, but all I can say is I do not regret going. Either way, I hope that you found this video helpful in making your decision. I tried to cover everything that I would have liked to know before going to school. If you feel like I've left anything out, or if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. I'll have my email in the description, and you can also just write it down in the comments as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, follow, and I'll be doing more videos like this in the future. And I'll also be diving into music production and sound design in the future as well. So stay tuned for more videos. I'll be doing a video once every week, and this is my first video, so hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any feedback, please feel free to leave me some feedback. And thanks for listening. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace out.